Hello coolers, welcome back to the channel, man. How long has it been? I know it's been a minute, but I'm super excited to be back after yet another impressive super win for Barca last night in the Clasico, the Super Cup final in Saudi Arabia. So while we are still basking in the euphoria of last night's super victory against our biggest rivals, guys, the purpose of this video is just to look at what could be the significance of the victory last night against Real Madrid, because mind you, the Super Cup win is just the first trophy of the season in Spanish football, and it has been decided in January, which means we have the whole of the second half of the season to come. The Copa del Rey is coming up, the game against Betis on Wednesday night, then we still have the return to La Liga, and then the Champions League, of course, the round of 16. Barca have the opportunity to qualify for the round of 16 in January, so there is still a whole lot to play for this season. So we just want to talk about real quick what could be the likely significance of last night's super win in the Super Cup against Real Madrid. And first of all, let me start by saying this: it was a very strong start from Barca last night, because just before Mbappe gave Madrid the lead, we started out flying out of the blocks. Lamine Yamal had the shot that was saved by Courtois, and Raphinha also followed up with a header that was saved from point blank range, guys. Courtois has been bailing Madrid out. This guy has been pulling off miracles for Madrid for God knows how long, and it looked as if it was going to be one of those nights when Madrid were also going to be bailed out by their goalkeeper, and then they will hit on the break and then they'll just steal the victory, because that was how the game started. Barca started the stronger of the two sides, but Madrid were in front. Somehow Madrid were in front. Against the run of play, Madrid were in front. But that is the quality of this Barca under Hansi Flick, because Barca, we don't relent, bro. We kept pushing, and before halftime it was 4-1, guys, and at that point it was obvious that the game was over. By then it was clearly over on the pitch, not just on the scoreline, but in terms of the performance as well. Madrid were simply no match for us. But part of the takeaway from this was the fact that Barca were very clinical. Remember, Barca had a very shambolic end to 2024 in the months of November and December. Bro, it was a mess, man. Barca were piss poor, and that is exactly why we are no longer top of the table in La Liga. And you could blame some possible reasons for the dip in form towards the end of the year, because of course the fatigue was evident. Barca were really tired. Of course, you know the issues we've had with injuries. A lot of players were tired, they were fatigued, because Flick had to play almost the same starting XI in every game, and that really showed towards the end of the season. Another factor for why we dropped our level just before the close of 2024 was the fact that teams were beginning to adjust to our tactics. The high line wasn't as effective as it was at the beginning of the season. But for me, the major contributing factor of why we dropped so many points before 2024 came to a close was the fact that we were missing way too many chances, guys. We missed a lot of chances in the games against Leganés, the games against Atletico de Madrid, so many games, Celta de Vigo. We could have easily won those games even without playing at our best, but unfortunately we were so profligate we couldn't take our chances. And seeing that semi-final against Athletic Club in the Supercopa, I think I had shades of the same performance, because Barca seemed like they weren't really in control of the game. Of course, we're the better side over the balance of play in the course of the 90 minutes, but it seemed like we were not able to finish off our chances. And you always have this feeling that the opponent will have a way back into the game so easily. Before the game finished against Athletic Club, I always had this feeling that we're not home and dry yet. So the difference in Sunday night's game against Madrid was the fact that our clinical nature came back, and I'm really happy because the boys saved it for the big occasion. Well, to be honest, credit to Flick and the players, guys. In all the big games Barca have played this season, we have always stepped up our level. We have been so convincing against the big boys, be it Bayern, Dortmund, Madrid. On 2 occasions now, Madrid have been annihilated against Barca, guys. The truth of the matter is, last night 5-2 flattered Madrid, to be honest. 5-2 is a scoreline that really flattered Madrid, because it could have been more. Like, the red card that Szczesny got in the second half at 5-1 saved Madrid, because it was to their advantage. Only God knows what could have happened if Barca had completed that game with 11 men on the pitch. Well, I guess we'll never know, because it could have been way disastrous for Real Madrid. But luckily for them, the red card came. It gave them hope of coming back into the game, and they scored almost immediately through that free kick from Rodrygo. Well, I feel like Peña could have done better, because well, let's cut him some slack, because perhaps it was his first action of the game, so he wasn't really as sharp as you would expect, because he was just coming on the pitch as a substitute. But I felt Szczesny could have saved that, bro. To be honest, I think Szczesny could have saved that free kick. But credit to Peña, he recovered in the dying stages of the game. He pulled off a remarkable stop to stop Mbappe, so credit to him for that. He is a fantastic shot stopper, and it's good to see that Barca has this competition for places in these key positions. And then I also have to just talk about the game management of Hansi Flick, because he was masterful after the red card. The tactics that Barca employed after the red card, it was just masterful. We did just enough to contain Madrid, and funny enough, Madrid could not even muster a real attempt on target until that Mbappe effort late in the game. So it was a super total domination from Barca, and with every inch deserved this Super Cup victory. The team played super well. Raphinha was rightly named the man of the game. He scored a brace and also laid on an assist for Balde. I think that should be Balde's first goal of the season, if I'm not mistaken. But overall, I think I struggled to pick out a standout performance tonight, because even Lewandowski, that we have been criticizing a lot for being a -1 in the team in recent weeks, he was unsung last night as well, because he contributed not just with the goal. He struck his penalty with aplomb, of course, but his hold-up play was much better than it has been in the last few weeks. And the rest of the team, Lamine Yamal, of course, bro, this kid is just super. I think we are running out of superlatives to describe this guy. The goal he scored, the equalizer, the all-important equalizer that brought us level and set the platform for us to go on and win it, it was Messi-esque, bro. I'm not trying to compare Lamine Yamal to Messi, because of course Messi is incomparable, bro, but Lamine Yamal is up there. The guy is a top talent right now. He is up there with the very best players in the world, and that's facts, bro. That's facts. So Barca, we were super last night, and it was important to get the win, because we struggled just before the last year ended. And it is very important that we have started the new year with not just back-to-back victories, 3 successive victories now in the Copa del Rey and 2 in the Super Cup, but we have also ended up winning a trophy. And if you are a good football analyst, or if you've been following the game, you would agree with me that winning this kind of trophy at this pivotal stage of the season, it also has the potential to set the platform to go on and win more things, because now the confidence has been restored. The players believe, they know that they can go on and achieve greater things as the season goes on. Also, we have beat Madrid for the second time this season, and that is 9-2 on aggregate, because we won 4-0 at the Bernabeu in the Clasico of La Liga, and now in the Super Cup we won 5-2. So that's 9 goals we have pushed past Real Madrid in just 2 games, while conceding only 2 goals as well. So that is not something to sniff at. It is a remarkable performance level from Barca. And like I said before, the major reason for our dip in form towards the end of 2024 was the fact that our forwards, I think they lacked some level of confidence. They were not finishing chances off with the same aplomb they were doing at the beginning of the season. And that form, that ruthlessness in front of goal, there was no better time to have it back. It came back in that win against Madrid on Sunday night. Raphinha was unsung, Lewandowski was unsung, Lamine Yamal was unsung. We were clinical, guys, and that is the key line I'm drawing from here. We were very clinical. At this point in time, I would expect that the players would take this form and this confidence into the rest of the season. The return of La Liga, the return of the Champions League, the return of the Copa del Rey. Barca now I am expecting that the confidence is back and teams will begin to fear us and take notice again, because we are all set. The gap in La Liga is 6 points to Atletico Madrid. Of course, 6 points is just 2 games. Mind you, we still have to go to the Wanda to play the second leg. So it's still a long way to go before La Liga is decided, and we are very much in this title race, guys. Make absolutely no mistake about it. We are very much in the La Liga title race, guys, and it is finally poised because right now Barca are on the high. The adrenaline rush and the confidence of winning the Super Cup has set us up very well for the second half of the season in La Liga. Well, another significant point I want to point out from our Super Cup victory is the future of Ronald Araujo, guys, because I haven't really said much even to my inner circle about the future of Araujo. A lot of news has been making the rounds about how much Araujo wants to leave. He wants to join Juventus and all of that, blah blah blah. Well, at this point in time, last night Araujo reminded us once again what a super player he is. Ronald Araujo is still very much one of the best center backs in the world. To be honest, when Araujo first burst onto the scene, when he started featuring regularly at Barca, in my opinion, I rated him as absolutely the best center half in the world. But well, of course, the dip in form came, the injury problems have always been there. So it seems like we have forgotten how good Ronald Araujo can be. But he reminded us last night just how good he can be. Inigo Martinez, who has been super this season for us, he was injured at around the 30th minute mark. By the way, he was having a colossal game at center half alongside Kubasi just before he was substituted with an injury. Well, it has been reported now by Fabrizio Romano, of course, that Martinez is going to be out for about 5 weeks. That is more than a month. So that shows you that Martinez is going to be out for a while yet. Now, this begs the question, after that performance that Araujo put up after replacing Martinez last night, now I ask, is it going to be very wise for Barca to proceed with selling Araujo this winter? In this January transfer window, would it be a very smart decision on our part to part with Ronald Araujo in January? Because with Martinez out injured, mind you, Andreas Christensen is still not back from his own injury yet. So that leaves just Kubasi and Eric Garcia, who of course has been playing mostly as a center midfielder or a defensive midfielder this season. And then Koundé, who of course has also been playing as a right back this season. So if Martinez is out for this long, does that mean that the potential departure of Araujo is going to be called off? Because in my opinion, it absolutely should be called off. Araujo is still very important to us, and it's very good to have these options. Squad depth has never been a cause for a big side like Barca, who aspires to win the biggest of the trophies. So if we have quality options like Araujo of course is understandable. With the quality he has, he always wants to play. That is why he is seeking a move away from the club, because I wouldn't understand any other reason why Araujo would want to leave Barca. He has shown severally that he loves the club, even though I know a lot of you would say, well, he loves the club, why is he not signing the contracts that have been offered to him? Well, that's a discussion for another day. But at this point in time, I feel that performance last night against Madrid and now the injury to Martinez could just sway the future of Araujo in another direction. I feel Araujo may no longer be leaving Barca this winter. Perhaps in the summer, it could still be a possibility that Araujo would still be sold if he insists on leaving and if he doesn't sign the contract, because in the summer, it will only be 12 months left on his contract. So, of course, it would make sense at that point to sell him off, because Barca are also interested, as we've heard, in bringing in Jonathan Tah from Bayer Leverkusen, who is also a super centre back. But, well, I used to pray for times like this where Barca will have an abundance of options in centre half. And it seems like we're beginning to reach that point in time. Well, I'm so excited to be back, excited for the rest of the season, excited that we have won the Super Cup. But I'd also like to know your thoughts on the Araujo situation as well. Do you believe that Barca should proceed with selling Araujo this winter, or should Barca convince Araujo to stay while Inigo Martinez recovers from his injury and they fight out for their place in center half alongside Pau Kubasi. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. But until then, as always, Visca El Barça. Adios.